Good afternoon. The idea I wish I thought of was Sightsavers, A Million Miracles. Excuse me, I just have to put my glasses on so I can speak. The first reason I love this campaign is because it has an almost perfect fundraising proposition. For £30, you can help a blind person see. I don't think it gets much better than that. It links the potential donor to the chance to transform someone's life. The second thing I love about this campaign is that it has a big, audacious goal. Sightsavers needed to raise £30 million for cataract operations in Asia and Africa. So £30 for cataracts operations, a target of £30 million, and from that a campaign name that is again about the connection between the donor and the transformation that they can create. The third thing that I think is really fantastic about this campaign, which I know from speaking to people who are involved in working on it, is that it brought the organisation together. And that's something that can be very difficult to do, as many fundraisers here will know. It enabled fundraising, comms and digital to work together around a single goal. It allowed field staff and program staff to get involved. And bloggers and floggers gave a way to amplify the message to a much wider audience. And right at the centre were the miracles that were happening to beneficiaries. The third thing that I love about this campaign is that it innovated. This campaign started a couple of years ago, so some of the technology's been taken over by some of the things you've heard about this afternoon. But this campaign did try to do some things differently at the time. This funny-looking box is actually a TV studio in a box. Because what Sightsavers wanted to do was broadcast an operation. For the first time, broadcast an operation live, streamed to potential donors and existing supporters around the world on social media. But they didn't want to do it from London or New York. They wanted to do it from Malawi, one of the poorest countries in the world. So they needed to find a way to do it, and the key to that was in this box. So this suitcase, TV studio in a box, allowed them to launch their campaign by filming an operation live from Malawi to broadcast the miracle of someone actually getting their sight back and share it with people around the world. They enlisted the help of famous YouTube star Doug Armstrong, who got involved early on, so he was able to share the story with his followers and with people around the world. The fifth thing I love about this campaign is that it was truly multi-channel, multi-platform. This is the rather old school but very effective long-form press ads. There was TV ads in multiple markets, all pointing to the same proposition on a website, multiple currencies, multiple languages. That's the website. All the online channels were used so that it was possible to extend their reach. There was also door drops, inserts, and of course appeals to existing supporters. But the thing I love most, and I think probably the theme of the afternoon, is the stories. This is Mr. Wenes. Mr. Wenes is a farmer from Malawi, and it's his story that the campaign launched with. He had blinding cataracts for 7 years, and he was totally blind for 2. This wasn't just Mr. Wenes's story. This was a story that Sightsavers was telling about the 20 million people around the world who have blinding cataracts. The story had all the elements of a great story, which is important. It was compelling. It was a remote rural village. The hero was a compelling character, his family, his community. They were a community that had a story that they wanted to share. So Sightsavers were going to launch their campaign with Mr. Wenes's operation filmed live. This all remarkably went smoothly. And they filmed the operation live, and it was shared around the world. And this is like 2.5 years ago now. But unfortunately, the big reveal was the next day when Mr. Wenes's sight was going to be given back through the result of the operation. And unfortunately, one of these things happened that happens many times in developing countries. The power was cut. So unfortunately, the big reveal had to be taped and shown later, which it was at VIP events around the world. And now I'd like to share that story with you.
We're hoping that today the bandage will be coming off and Mr. Winners will be able to see again for the first time in more than 2 years.
Pamene ndimakhala ndili bwino ndimapeza ganyu kapena kuthandizidwa kupeza chakudya koma kuli kugwira ntchito ndilephera kapena kuchita kalikonse pamene ndingagwira kuti ndione chakudya ndilephera ndi ndiudziwa kuti ineyo ndi vuto lalikulu kuyenda kudziwa kuti ndikapita pakuti paja mpakumbika paja pakuti ndimangokhala khati kuti ndizungulira apo koma kumuona nkhope yake saizi yake sindimuona chifukwa ndidzamva ubwino ndidzakondwa kwambiri. So
yesterday we had a live cataract operation going out over the internet with Mr. Winners. I think it's time. I'm going to hand over to you.
Okay, Mr. Winners. Good one.
This campaign has now achieved over 600,000 miracles. There's still a couple of years to run to 2019, so I don't doubt that they will achieve their objective of funding 1 million miracles and 1 million people's sight returned. The things I really love... The results of the campaign speak to themselves. An aid match was secured, newspaper coverage of over 30 million, great media partnerships with the Telegraph and Google, 1,500 blogs and a huge online coverage. But I think the thing that is most wonderful about this campaign is how it demonstrated the power of donors to really create miracles. Thank you very much.